They always say you can sense when something isn't right. I didn't want to believe it. Every time I looked at Ellie, I saw the woman I fell in love with. The one with the untamed grin, her hair forever in that messy bun, always humming softly while she cooked. But recently, the humming had gone silent. Her laughter felt forced. And her phone? It was like it had become part of her hand. I told myself she was just overwhelmed with work, maybe seasonal depression. I wasn't the type to jump to conclusions. I've never been that guy. But then one evening, I caught a glimpse of her phone as she smiled at a message. One she quickly swiped away. That moment planted a seed of doubt, a slow gnawing ache in my gut. I didn't confront her that night. I waited, gave it a few days, thought maybe I was just being paranoid. But I couldn't ignore the shift between us. The space kept widening. She'd barely meet my eyes. Our kisses became quick and cold. And unless I said I love you first, it went unspoken. Eventually, I did the thing I swore I'd never do. I checked her phone while she was in the shower. I hated myself for it, but I needed to know. What I found shattered me. A message thread saved under the name Lena from HR that was anything but HR related. Flirty exchanges. Inside jokes I was never part of. Photos, ones I never wanted in my head. She hadn't just drifted away from me. She had walked out of our relationship quietly, months ago. I didn't rage. Didn't pack a bag. That night, I simply lay next to her in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering how many nights she had lied to my face with those same soft eyes. The next morning, it was her sister Kayla who noticed something was off. She found me sitting silently on the porch. Kayla and I had always been friendly, not particularly close, but something about my silence must have spoken volumes. "You all right?" she asked gently, sitting beside me. I paused. "She's been with someone else." Her eyebrows shot up. "Wait, what?" I nodded. "I saw the messages. It's not just a fling. She's been cheating." Kayla was stunned. Her fists clenched in her lap. "You didn't deserve that." "No," I murmured. "I really didn't." And that's when an idea began to take shape, not out of bitterness, but from the need to reclaim something of myself. I wasn't looking to explode or trash her reputation. I just wanted her to feel what it was like to be left behind. I wanted her to understand the kind of quiet pain she'd buried me in. I turned to Kayla. "You remember that rooftop place Ellie loves? The one with the fairy lights and live music?" She blinked, then slowly nodded. "You want to have dinner there tonight?" She looked surprised. "Are you serious? I need some fresh air. Good food. Maybe a little poetic justice." Kayla didn't answer right away, but the softness in her eyes told me she understood what this was, what it wasn't. The rooftop restaurant was perched above a worn brick building downtown. String lights glittered overhead. The skyline stretched wide and open. It was beautiful, memorable. That place held significance. It was where Ellie and I went on our first date. As I pulled out the chair for Kayla, I wondered for a split second if this was wrong, if I was being small. But when I saw her sitting there, nervous but calm, I realized this wasn't about revenge. It was about acknowledgement. We were both just trying to feel human again. Kayla wore a burgundy dress, simple, graceful. It shimmered in the light. I caught a few people looking our way, smiling like we were a couple. Funny how easy it was to pretend. But there was a quiet pain between us, thick and unspoken. "You know," she said after the appetizers arrived, "I used to believe Ellie couldn't lie. I really thought she was incapable of it." I nodded slowly. "Same here." She inhaled deeply. I told her, if she ever felt bored or unhappy, she should just talk to you. You're not hard to love." That hit me harder than anything else. I stared at the condensation on my glass. She didn't talk. She just left, piece by piece. Kayla leaned in a little. She told everyone she was spending the night at a friend's place. Mom and Dad still don't know. She's acting like everything's fine. Of course she was. That was always Ellie's gift. Acting put together while chaos burned beneath the surface. Our food arrived. The soft hum of acoustic guitar began to fill the night. It felt like a movie for a moment, one of those bittersweet scenes right before everything changes. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Ellie. Hey, where are you? Weren't we going to watch that new Netflix thing tonight? My grip on the phone tightened. She was really pretending like nothing had happened. I tilted my phone to show Kayla. She let out a bitter laugh. Unbelievable. I took a picture of our table, the meal, the candlelight, the skyline. And just at the edge of the frame, Kayla's hand holding a glass of wine. I sent the photo. No words. A second later, Ellie replied. What the hell? Is that Kayla? Are you serious? Kayla's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then tossed it face down. She's losing it, she said with a smirk. I exhaled. Slowly. Good. Because it wasn't about hurting her anymore. It was about showing her that I wasn't going to wait around, that the man she'd taken for granted had finally stood up. The rest of the night was quiet. No drama. We didn't kiss. Didn't flirt. After dessert, we stepped out onto the roof terrace and looked over the city. The breeze was cool. Everything sparkled below. Thank you, Kayla said gently. Not just for dinner, for not making it weird or petty. I smiled. You're not some tool in a revenge plan, Kayla. I just wanted to be around someone real. She nodded. I needed that too. We hugged, nothing more. Just two people holding on to a moment of clarity. When her ride came, she left. And I stood there for a long while, breathing in the peace I hadn't felt in weeks. The next morning, Ellie showed up unannounced. Hair messy, no makeup, baggy joggers. She looked deflated, like the guilt had finally caught up. You went out with Kayla? She asked, voice shaking. Why would you do that to me? I didn't raise my voice. I stepped aside. Come in. We're not doing this out here. We sat across from one another in the living room. The silence dragged until she finally broke. It was a mistake, okay? She said, choking up. I thought we were drifting. I didn't plan it. It just happened. I crossed my arms. Twice. It happened twice. And you lied both times. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did. Again. And then you expected me to pretend like it never happened. Tears welled up in her eyes. But Kayla, she's my sister. I leaned forward, voice steady. You don't get to be jealous anymore. That's not your right. She sank back into the couch, stunned. I didn't sleep with her, I added. Not that it's your business anymore. We had dinner. We talked. That's it. Her lips trembled. Are you trying to be with her now? No. But if I was, I wouldn't feel the need to explain it to you. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. The look in her eyes said it all. She finally understood it was over. I stood. I'll always wish this ended differently, but I'm done shrinking myself to make you feel better. She didn't slam the door when she left. She just walked out quietly, for the last time. Weeks passed. Then months. I saw Kayla once in a while. We didn't rush into anything. We were both healing. But we talked. We checked in. The sting of betrayal lingered. Sure. But in time, I realized the best revenge wasn't revenge at all. It was peace. It was walking forward with dignity, while the person who broke you watched you rise from the rubble, without them.